Silenthill has you playing as non-lore accurate Hinako, a Japanese schoolgirl with latent supernatural abilities. Through the power of believing in herself and questionable friendships, Hinako transverses through the demons that haunt her small Japanese village and comes out the other side single or married to a fox demon. It really depends on your mood. Now, right off the bat, I like to answer the question immediately. How hard was it to get the Platinum Trophy for Silent Hill F? The answer is not that hard at all. If I had to summarize it for you, it was more annoying than anything else. It's a bit of a grind as you will have to replay the game multiple times for 5 different endings. A treat for those who love to torture themselves with disheartening lore and pride themselves with attention to subtle details. But for pure completionists who simply want the Platinum Trophy, it's a mild challenge I would only recommend while listening to my videos in the background. Let's dive deeper into the abyss. As already mentioned, Hinako has multiple destinies ahead of her in Silent Hill F. You will have to replay the game multiple times to unlock them all, and all endings are necessary for the Platinum Trophy. Unfortunately, there is no fast forward button. You will have to play the game in its entirety over and over again and solve the same puzzles. Yes, you can change things up by changing the game and puzzle difficulty, or taking a break and playing any game with Kirby in it in between runs, but it can be repetitive and boring. The real challenge wasn't the trophy challenges, but rather making sure I don't fall asleep. Before anyone claims I am criticizing this game, I am not. Anyone who has played the main game will tell you that Silent Hill F accomplishes what it was made to do. A disturbing story wrapped within layers of sorrow and depressing aspects coded in multiple meanings involving choice. That is the most powerful lesson I learned from Silent Hill F after multiple playthroughs. The point of the game isn't about drugs, marriage, fox demons, scarecrows, terrible parents, UFOs, or samurai swords. It's about choice. Anyway, back to the trophies themselves. When obtaining a platinum trophy or a silver gold trophy in general, I want a reward for my efforts, even if it's a small one. Silent Hill F delivers, the reward being more exploration, discovering disturbing viewpoints of the darkest thoughts of each character, and getting grabbed by the same mannequin again because I keep forgetting they like to hide in every corner. My issue with a lot of trophies in games, in general, is that they exist for the sole purpose of existing, but a good portion of Silent Hill F trophies actually coincide with the main purpose of the game. That is probably the best compliment I can give the game for trophy hunters. There are several trophies that need to get diaries or journals of characters in the game, which is great because I hate Sadako and I am never giving her back her 500 yen. She deserved to die. This is Hinako's story. It's her world spiraling out of control. The game doesn't directly focus on anyone else. However, if you wanted to know what's going on in the heads of other characters, replaying the game dives deeper into them. The reward is lore knowledge and several trophies, a great combo. In terms of gameplay, it's not very smooth, which makes sense. I will remind everyone you play as a teenage schoolgirl whose biggest accomplishments in her life are being great at track and field, and is apparently the only girl in her village capable of having a normal conversation with a boy. I mean, I guess that's true until she finds out he's been drugging her. And she forgave him. I didn't make any of that up. Alright, back to the gameplay. The Sacred Sword is a major element for players who shoot for the Platinum, which is a hidden samurai sword that can only be unlocked in New Game Plus. It's linked to several trophies in the game, so it's important. Pay attention. To obtain the Sacred Sword, you have to play the game in New Game Plus and follow a specific order of instructions. But for one trophy ending, you have to obtain it, another you have to avoid it, another you have to cleanse it. It was interesting hunting it down the first time, but got old fast. Again, it's not hard, but I will say it's annoying. You have to go around doing specific actions multiple times for the different endings, and it felt like a remedial task at some point. Also, I think everyone who's played the game can agree, it's not even that great of a secret weapon. The rest of the gameplay related trophies aren't that hard, I won't lie to you at all. While there is a trophy to complete the game on the hardest difficulty, I went back and beat the game subsequently on the lowest difficulty. Very few of the trophies here are locked to difficulty setting. Hineko's attacks just aren't that interesting. I realized that about halfway through the game, she literally saws off her own arm to replace it with a wolf arm, and thanks everyone for watching her mutilate herself in order to gain new abilities and attack patterns. But her attack sequence is very basic. Swipe, swipe, and maybe swipe once more if there's time. She still has to dodge awkwardly, and none of the enemies gain new abilities or anything depending on the difficulty. They just have more health and hit harder, which is completely pointless if you know when to dodge and hoard your power-ups accordingly. The real challenge here is to look up ahead of time the best save spots because some of the trophies involving the endgame bosses are missable if you save over that file. Involving the puzzles, a lot of them make no sense. Before people say I'm bad at puzzles, I just want you all to know I beat Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, so it's not me. If you scan forums and comments online, You'll see plenty of players claiming some of the puzzles were unfair and didn't make sense. Others claimed that plenty of puzzles had multiple answers and it was annoying to find the correct one the game wanted. I agree with all of these sentiments. I don't like using guides when I go for the Platinum Trophy, but I had to for Silent Hill F. I don't feel guilty about it either, like James did when he found out he killed his wife in Silent Hill 2. But at the same time, I wish the puzzles made more sense. The gameplay and story is good enough to entertain you to keep going forward, but regardless, some of the puzzles in Silent Hill F are just bad. I don't want to bring up Silent Hill 2 Remake because that's its own game with its own themes, but I just can't help it. Silent Hill 2 just did puzzles better. I want to end this video by saying I always decide if a game is good if I get the Platinum Trophy, and I just want to keep playing. And for some reason, I had that feeling with Silent Hill F. I think it's because every time I played, I noticed something new. Every time I played, I found a new piece of lore or realized things I didn't realize the first playthrough. And I felt that even though I unlocked everything, I might have missed something, and I had the urge to go back and see if I had new realizations. That's it. I do recommend it. It's a grind. Again, have something in the background while playing. Pay attention to the lore. Look for subtle details in the environment. See you all when the fog comes around and Silent Hill spawns once again.
Thank you for your continued...
Hello?